Welcome to everyone. I can see that we have many new attendees. Thank you for joining us and welcome to our regulatory update meeting for November 2025. Today, we have several regulatory updates that we would like to share with you. These are in a 787 country: Sri Lanka, India, Malaysia, Singapore, China, Vietnam, Indonesia, plus the European zone. So all the updates will be related to medical devices and IVD. Our first country today is Sri Lanka, and the update is related to aesthetic procedure devices. So here we will summarize an official notice from the NMRA, the Health Authority of Sri Lanka, about the devices that are used in aesthetic procedures, such as laser and skin tightening, for example. So this notice is addressed to all the key stakeholder, manufacturer, importer, distributor, healthcare provider, and also end user. Now, the purpose of this document is to inform all the related party that the Health Authority of Sri Lanka has updates about which products and technology fall under their medical device regulation, so it can ensure that everyone understands this technology cannot be used or imported freely, so they must follow the medical devices rule. And here we come to the heart of the notice. NMRA confirms that all devices used for laser treatment, microneedling, treat lifting, cavitation, EMS, high-intensity ultrasound tightening, and fractal RF skin tightening must be officially registered as medical devices. So they are not considered simple beauty or cosmetic device and should be registered as medical devices. In our second country, India, the update is related to the GST cut or reduction. So here we will focus on the GST rationalization affecting only medical devices and diagnostic equipment, because in this document or this press release, this was published on last September of this year, the authority presented a reduction of GST of several devices or medicine devices, a lot of items. But here we will focus only on the medical device and IVD. So we will look at the specific products that are included in the reform and the impacts of these tax reduction. Here in this slide, it shows the core of the reform. So a wide range of essential healthcare supplies and diagnostic tools, as you can see, now move from 12% to 5%. So these include oxygen, gauze, bandage, gloves, diagnostic kits, the glucometers and thermometers. The whole list can be found in this publication. So at system level, I found this information very interesting, because we think that this reform creates a healthier ecosystem for medical devices, which means that manufacturers will benefit from reduced input taxes, public health programs can procure devices at lower cost, and diagnostic services become more accessible across the country. So that was for India. In Vietnam, the update would be related to the import rules. Let's see. So this update explained the new rules for importing medical devices into Vietnam starting July 1st, 2025. The contents are based on Decree 98 and the transitional extension and the Decree 04. We'll review what changes, what expired, and what manufacturer and importer must do to stay compliant. So in this slide, we give the regulatory context or background. So Decree 98 is the core rule for all medical devices in Vietnam. And because many companies needed more time, the government issued Decree 04 extending some allowance until June 30, 2025. But this extension have a clear deadline, which lead us to the next slide. So under the new system, company must reapply for licenses under the full normal procedure. Class C and D devices need an official registration number. An old IVD registration number will no longer be accepted. So all companies should prepare the updated documentation before July 1st. Well, this update is not new. This was published a while ago, and I think that most of the manufacturers are already prepared about that, but it's just that it's a reminder since it just took force in July 1st, 2 months ago. Here in this slide, we summarize the main compliance pieces. So devices must be properly classified. Manufacturer need ISO 13485 or a certificate of resale. Every foreign company must appoint a local representative, and documentation for Class C and D must follow CLDT. Labeling must be in Vietnamese, and Vietnam is aligning more with international standards to improve transparency and safety. So this is the main obligation under Decree 98 that are now mandatory to follow. In Indonesia, the update is related to the E-Catalog version 6, the latest version that is now applicable. So this presentation about Indonesia will summarize LKPP mandates for E-Catalog version 6, along with the Ministry of Health new 2025 requirements for KFA codes. We'll see what all that means. So let's have some definition. The LKPP is the Indonesian National Public Procurement Policy Agency, which manage the e-catalog. The devices that are published on the e-catalog in Indonesia can be subject to procurement, and each time a new catalog is updated and is the only one that is applicable or in force. Now, the one that is actually enforced in the version 6, and in this document, it is reminding that about the enforcement of this version 6. The KFA is the National Product Reference Coding System. Unique, which is a unique code identifying each medical device with his specific form, packaging, strength, and manufacturer. And as we said, the e-catalog is a national online catalog used for e-purchasing. So now the version 5 is phased out and version 6 become mandatory. So the KFA rollout has been progressive, leading to full mandatory use for medical device starting on 2025. So as we can see here in this slide, it was introduced at Technopharma Keys on 2022. On 2023, it was adopted as the Indonesian National Reference Standard. on May 2024, this circular FR0301 EV 1179-2024 encourages pilot adoption, and in 2025, this circular FR0101E 147-2025 makes KFA mandatory for medical device listing in the national E-Catalog. So here we have to think the KFA that is mandatory and the version 6 of the catalog that is also now in force. So this circular, as we said, ensures that all agencies move to version 6 uniformly. So for industry, KFA is now a non-negotiable requirement. Without a valid KFE code, a medical device cannot enter the national e-catalog, as I said, and cannot participate in public procurement. And company must ensure their product data fits KFE formatting and classification. Well, we arrive at the half of our presentation, or a little bit less. So with Singapore. In Singapore, we'll have 3 updates to discuss together today. The first one is related to, if you ever heard about HSA Hong Kong regulatory cooperation. There was a lot of cooperation recently and the recognition, mutual recognition. This one about Hong Kong, choose to share this information just to be aware about what is it about exactly. Then the second update is the IVD, about the IVD analyzers. And last one is related to an updated licensing requirements in Singapore. So let's look into the first update in Singapore. As we say, the HSA Hong Kong DOH regulatory cooperation. So the following slides summarizes the press release issued by Singapore HSA on last 13 August 2025. The document announces a new memorandum of understanding, or as well known under MOVE acronym. So between HSA and the Hong Kong Department of Health to strengthen healthcare regulatory cooperation. But what is it exactly this cooperation stands for? So in this slide show the operational elements of the cooperation. The 2 agencies will exchange expertise, participate in joint training, and collaborate in enforcement strategy. So nothing about mutual recognition, but there is, they start working together. So now you know exactly what is this regulatory cooperation between Singapore and Hong Kong related to medical devices and IVD is related to. So in the second update in Singapore, we'll see in the following slide that we will focus only on the new changes, because this guidance, the GN35 for IVD analyzer, isn't a new guidance, but it was updated. Here we will discuss the revision 2, the second version, that was published on the 21st of October of this year. So we will focus only on the changes introduced in this version. First one, about risk classification. So here it said that if there is any doubt on risk class, we have to go first to the guidance GN14, which is related to risk classification of IVD, and the GN35s no longer stand alone for classification. So before, the people were used to consult the one of them, but now both of them are mandatory. And the principal one is the GN14. Regarding family grouping, what is expected in this update? So this revision 2 tightens grouping. So performance differences mean separate listing, even if the instrument looks similar commercially. So use family grouping only for variants that don't change diagnostic performance. If there is a difference in the performance, they should be listed separately. This is the second update in this IVD analyzer guidance. Third one, regarding change notification or as known as CN. So whenever there is a modification to the analyzer, we now treat GN21 as our rule book, the guidance GN21 as our rule book for the CN process. This guidance GN21 is specific for change notification. Regarding the updating compatible reagent lists. So in this second version, it makes it explicit. So compatible reagent and analyzer must be kept in synchronization. Every new compatible reagent triggers a change notification on the analyzer side. So when a new reagent kit is registered as compatible with split closed system, you must submit a change notification for the analyzer listing under other notification changes using the Annex 2 as a template. Now, if you follow these 4 bullet points in your day-to-day work, you are basically compliant with what this second version of this guidance is about. So use GN14 for analyzer risk classification decision. Apply updated family criteria, no grouping if performance differs. Use GN21 guidance as the main reference for all CN tips affecting analyzer. For split analyzers, file other change notification as other notification changes whenever the list of compatible reagent changes using the required annexes. That was all about the second update in Singapore. Here, for the third update and the last one for Singapore today, we'll summarize the new changes introduced in the 7th version of this guidance known as GN02. So this is for manufacturer, import, and wholesale. It was issued in October as well. So let's go into these changes. Now, here is again a reminder, as we already discussed in previous RegTalk. So all license-related application must be submitted via the Share platform, online platform, including new application, amendment, renewal, withdrawal, or cancellation. So revision 7 makes Share the only accepted submission route, and no more mixed or manual channels are accepted. About applicant responsibility. So here it's stated explicitly that the applicant has some responsibility, and one of them is to respond to the authority to HSA input requests, to ensure contact details are always updated, and maintain accuracy of all information submitted. So this is just to ensure that the Health Authority of Singapore can contact applicant quickly to prevent delays, or rejection. So regarding the QMS requirements, these were clarified. Applicants must declare their QMS ISO 13485, MDSAP, or GDP-MDS. Importers, wholesalers dealing with non-class 1 devices must be certified to GDP-MDS or ISO 13485. Certification must be from a SAC accredited body, Singapore Accreditation Council body. And so in this seventh version of this guidance is straightened to QMS requirements specifically for importers and wholesalers. Now for Class A device notification process. So Class A devices still do not require registration, but dealers must submit a product notification in share before import or and supply. And list will appear in HSA Class 1 medical device database, and any change should be submitted via as an amendment via share online platform. So for the first time, Class A devices must be notified through share for traceability. Now, changes to license information. There is a new process. Any update must be submitted, as we said, as an amendment in share, and must attach updated QMS certificate or declaration. And the Annex 2 summarizes all the changes chips that you can consult this annex in this guidance. So this version 7 of this guidance, it formalizes that license modification are only accepted through the share amendment function. This was like repeated in all the recently published version of different guidances in Singapore, just to emphasize that we have this new share online platform, and every single process should follow, should go through this platform, even the notification for Class A. So for validity and renewal rules, all dealers' licenses valid for 12 months. If not renewed, automatically are invalid. Auto-renewal applies for company on Giro. A non-Giro company must submit renewal via share before expiry. Just for clarification, Giro is a Singapore automated recurring bank-to-bank payment system. So there will be an auto-renewal if this if the company is part of the Giro. If it is not, so must submit a renewal via the platform. So this seventh version clarifies renewal timing and introduces strict validity rules about unlicensed dealing. Now in China, the update is related to a draft. This is a draft about the UDI expansion to new classes of medical devices and IVD. But it is a draft that can expect the guidance to be released soon. Now, this upcoming slide will summarize the draft announcement issued by the National Medical Product Administration, or NMPA, in China. That was issued on September of this year, about expanding the unique device identification system for medical devices and IVD in China. So what is changing? The UDI is already implemented in China for all Class 3 medical devices, including IVD reagents, and 103 chips of Class 2 devices. Now, in the new draft, it would expand the UDI to the remaining Class 2 devices and to Class 1 medical devices and Class 1 and Class 2 IVD reagents. So NMPA is moving to a complete UDI coverage across all devices, all device classes. So from June 1st, 2027, UDI will become mandatory for all Class 2 devices and all IVD reagents at Class 1 and Class 2 and 2 level. Anything produced before that date is exempt. So starting from June 1st, 2027. Class 1 devices have a later deadline. UDI become mandatory only for products manufactured after June 1st, 2029. So it is about the date where the device is manufactured. And every device made after the cut-off date must have its UDI and packaging data uploaded to the NMPA database before entering to the market. So this draft, brings China closer to full life cycle device traceability using the UDI system. The transition is staged, and the summary of the UDI expansion is shown in this slide. So for Class 2 devices and IVD after June 1st, 2027, Class 1 IVD after June 1st, 2027, and Class 1 medical devices after June 1st, 2029. So in Malaysia, the update will be related to the fee structure amendment. Here, we will explain the key amendment in Malaysia Medical Device Amendment Regulation of 2025 that will be effective on January 2026. That was officially published in the Gazette PUA 330. As we said, it will become effective on January 2026. Now it's concerned, yes, we'll see. What was amended? This amendment focuses entirely on Class A devices, fee in the 5th schedule. So no other part of the regulation were changed, only Class A devices. So the first major change is the increase in the application fee to RM 500, which it is increasing from RM 100 to RM 500, which in USD dollar it's from 25 USD dollar to 120. It's a big increase from 25 or 24 USD dollar to 120 USD. Small amount was still a big increase. Now for the registration fee, previously there was no registration fee, but now it is mandatory for payment. RM 750, which corresponds to 180 USD dollar. This is the big change in the structure fee for Class A medical devices in Malaysia. So all applications submitted on or after 1st January 2026 will follow this new fee structure. This includes both new and renewal registration. And the authority or MDA set a cutoff on 10th of December 2025 to allow internal processing. So anything after that will be handled in January under the new fee structure. So even if it is in force in 1st of January 2026, but the last deadline is the December 10th of this year. Otherwise, all the application will be treated as submitted in January under the new fees. Last update today is regarding it's happening in the EU zone. We talk about the EU borderline and classification manual update. So here we have some updates in the classification of some borderline devices. We'll discuss each of them. So for EU, we will summarize the latest September 2025 update to this, as we said, borderline and classification manual under MDR and IVDR, focusing only on the newly added cases that were published or updated on last September. So the first case is about red blood cell additive solution with adenine. So here in this case, adenine has a medicinal action, but remains ancillary to the device. So the entire product falls under class 3 according to rule 14. Now, I think we have around 5 cases or 6, I'm not sure. So the second case introduced in this update is about dual action cream with menthol and capsaicin. So for this cream, because the effect of this cream rely on pharmacology, it cannot be considered a medical device under MDR. And because there is no evidence shown the intended action is non-pharmacological, sorry. Third case, vaginal lactose tablet. So here, since the intended effect is achieved through metabolic action, this product clearly is excluded from medical device definition. So these cases present this or help to explicitly in the classification of this borderline devices. Fourth case, microabrasion dental stain removers. The key point in that cosmetic improvement alone is not a medical purpose. So this product is not a medical device. Now, for the fifth case, medical examination table covers. Because the purpose is disease prevention, the covers fall within the MDR definition of a medical device. So they are considered a medical device. I think last case, mobile sterile air system. This system supports the environment, but do not have a medical action on the patient. So they are not considered a medical device. Here is a summary of all the cases that we just presented. So this update in this just clarify borderline cases and help ensure consistent classification decision across the European zone. So here you can see again all the decision of the different cases, red blood cell additive with adenine considered class 3, menthol capsaicin cream not a medical device, vaginal lactose tablet not a medical device, dental stain remover not a medical device, examination table covers a medical device, and mobile sterile air system not a medical device. Thank you so much for being here, and would welcome any question related to the content of this presentation, please. Yes, Mickey.
Hi, Man. Thank you very much for the presentation of today. It was really detailed and a lot to learn. Regarding China, regarding the UDI in China, let's say I have a combination package. Are devices inside a UDI labeled combination package required to have an individual UDI labels?
No, I think no. Like disposable or devices that are inside the combination packet would not require the individual UDI, but the package, as long as the package already has a UDI.
Okay.
And the items are only used within this package. So if the package has already UDI, you don't need for every single item.
Okay, I understand. Thank
in
you.
This combination packet. You're welcome. Yes, Gabi. Hello.
Hi, man. Thank you for a great presentation.
Thank you.
I also have a question about the UDI in China.
Yes.
So the companies must upload the UDI data before selling the device?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. They should be updated. Like when this take force for the new devices, before marketing these devices. Yes.
Okay. So after registration and before selling.
Yes, it should be uploaded to the NMRA UDI database. So then after that you can sell the product.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to thank you for being here and welcome you for our next RegTalk in December. It will be a summary of all the most important updates that we have presented all along the 2025. And hope you enjoyed the presentation today and learn a lot. Thank you so much and hope to see you in our next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.